Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You know, when I first started looking into CNC routers, I was tempted to grab one of those cheap $200 models you see online. They promise a lot for the price, but after using them for small projects, I quickly realized they just don't hold up. The motors overheat, the cuts aren't precise, and the software is clunky at best. So today, I want to show you something different, the 10-3040 1500W CNC router. It's not cheap, but it's built for real work, and I've been using it for a few weeks now. If you want to check out the details, the link is in the description. First off, this thing is solid. The frame is all metal, no flimsy plastic parts here. That makes a huge difference when you're running it for hours because it doesn't vibrate or wobble like those cheaper machines. I've been using it to carve signs out of wood, and the precision is spot on. The ball screw system is a game changer compared to the cheaper lead screws you find on budget models. It means smoother movements and way less wear over time, so your cuts stay accurate even after months of use. Another thing I love is the water cooling system. If you've ever used a CNC router before, you know how hot the spindle can get, especially when you're pushing it with harder materials like aluminum. With this machine, the water cooling keeps the temperature down, which not only protects the tool but also extends its life. I've been able to run longer jobs without stopping to let things cool off, which saves me a ton of time. The USB port is super handy too. Instead of dealing with outdated parallel ports or complicated setups, I can just plug in a USB drive with my design files and get straight to work. The software that comes with it is basic, but it's enough to get started. If you're already familiar with CNC work, you can even use other programs like Fusion 360 or VCarve and export the files to run on this machine. It's flexible, which is great if you're planning to take on more complex projects down the road. Now, let's talk about power. This thing runs on 1500 watts, so it can handle tougher materials without bogging down. I've used it on hardwoods, plastics, and even some light aluminum, and it cuts through them like butter. The 3-axis setup gives you the flexibility to work on different angles, which is perfect for detailed engravings or 3D carvings. I've made everything from custom jewelry boxes to small furniture parts, and the results are always clean and professional. One thing to keep in mind is the learning curve. If you're new to CNC routing, this isn't the kind of machine you can just plug in and start using without some practice. The manual is a bit sparse, and you'll probably need to watch a few tutorials to get the hang of the software and settings. But once you get past that initial hurdle, it's smooth sailing. The community around this machine is pretty active, so there are plenty of resources online to help you troubleshoot if you run into issues. The assembly was another thing I was worried about, but it actually went pretty smoothly. The instructions are decent, and most of the parts are pre-assembled. It took me about an hour to get everything set up and calibrated, which isn't bad considering the size of the machine. Just make sure you have some basic tools on hand, like wrenches and screwdrivers, because you'll need them for the final adjustments. So, what do I think overall? If you're serious about CNC routing and you want a machine that's built to last, this is a solid choice. It's not the cheapest option out there, but it's definitely worth the investment if you're planning to use it regularly. The precision, power, and build quality are all top-notch, and the water cooling and USB port make it a lot more user-friendly than a lot of the alternatives. On the downside, the size might be a limiting factor for some people. The work area is 300 by 400 millimeters, which is fine for small to medium projects, but if you're looking to make larger pieces, you might need something bigger. Also, while the software is functional, it's not as polished as some of the high-end options out there. You might want a budget for a more advanced program if you plan to do professional work. All in all, I'm really happy with this machine. It's reliable, powerful, and built to handle real projects. If you're in the market for a CNC router that won't let you down, I definitely recommend checking this one out. The link is below if you want to take a closer look. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.